So when I went back to Goa, it was really difficult because I had left this guy behind, and I'm a bit of a romantic, I guess, myself. So I arrived at the Animal Rescue Centre to pick up Bear, and of course I was still manager. Got myself back into my daily routine that I'd had beforehand, before going on my travel. But at the same time, I still didn't feel like my journey was over.
That's right, take me home now.
But something in me still really felt like it was cut short, and that I probably had come back purely for the Animal Rescue Centre and for Bear, and not for myself. If I didn't have those responsibilities, I'm pretty sure I would have stayed in Sicily or continued my travels or whatever. But, you know, I had made a commitment to the Animal Centre, and I had made a commitment for Bear's adoption. Did get to me, and I made a decision because the owner was actually in India at the time. I didn't feel that she probably needed my help as much, and so I made the decision to go back to Italy and to Sicily and to Cefalu.
You're gonna bury all my seashells. Okay, eat them then. Yeah, you're a strange boy. It's not food.
And so after about 3 weeks, maybe, I went back to Italy, hopped on that plane and got myself back to Cefalu. And then I'd organised to stay in an apartment, a different one, and it was a lot bigger and a little bit better facilities. And so I took that apartment for a very good price, and it was really cute. And I just started my routine of my work, of my yoga, going to the shops, buying my food, cooking at home, going out to dinner, having my romance, sightseeing, and especially, this is where I found the best hairdresser. So it was actually a lot colder as well by the time I went back, because it was October. But I quickly got to know a lot of people because I was walking so much and, you know, stopping and talking and everything. I just wish I could take you there, like literally take you into my mind and into my vision, because I highly recommend Cefalu as a place to visit. It was just so charming, so beautiful. At this stage, I realized just how great my job was, because wherever I went, as long as I had a computer and an internet connection, I could work and earn money. So, I could really go anywhere I wanted to. And then I made the decision and I thought, you know what, I just have to take a risk. And if it means I lose this client, I'm going to be okay. Like, I will work out a way. I've got savings if I need to. That's going to help me survive for a while. And then I can make the decision. And I just wanted to think about things very much like that, instead of racing my mind ahead like I used to and get anxious and stressed about what my future would hold. With all these plans, and also the possibility that my income would suddenly stop, and that was in October of 2016. And I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to trust that I will be looked after. And that's what I did. So I needed to maybe make some decisions about what I wanted to do. And my thoughts traveled back to the visions that I'd had in Sri Lanka earlier in that year about having a healing center. I had that opportunity back in Gokana, but it still didn't feel right for me. And at that point, I probably made the decision that I wasn't going to go ahead with it, like completely made that decision. And so I wanted to make something my own, like, and there would be animals, of course, but it was all in those early stages of really like working out what I was going to do. So I meditated on it, I visualized it, I thought about it, I wrote down things, and kind of things started to come together. So by that stage, I still didn't really have a big idea, or maybe I had a big idea, but I didn't have the fundamental like blocks that I needed to be able to do it. And of course, I had to leave the guy that I'd met. I thought maybe I can go back and forth between Italy and India. So I kind of had that in my head and said my goodbyes, which were really hard. And of course, we were very close as well. So, and the circumstances were very different to, meeting if we're from the same country. So, I knew that I had feelings for him, but I also just felt that the right decision would be to go back to India for now and work it all out in the future. That pushed the bike back down to the ground, and the bike stand actually went through my foot, or went deep into my foot, and instantly my foot was like elephantitis. It was swollen so much that I ended up finding out that I had 2 hematomas on the top of my foot. So I came home and I rested my foot, but for 4 days I couldn't do yoga, and that killed me, because pretty much I do yoga every day except when I'm traveling and can't. There has to be a really good reason, like illness or something like that. And while I knew that what we felt for each other was real, I was pretty pissed off that he had lied to me, or that he wasn't truthful with me. And then all of the warning signs from my Airbnb host was like, be careful of Sicilian men, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, yep, definitely learnt the hard way there. And that's when something really changed in my life, which blew me away, because I thought I'd had enough romance in 1 year. And this was a lot to be meeting these men all over the world. But funnily enough, when I started out my journey in India, I thought, what would be really cool is to kind of like have different guys in different countries, just wherever I go, I have a nice little romantic fling. And actually that's what happened. And I realized it was kind of something that I had willed to happen. Part of this story ended with Italy, but I was actually blown away by what happened next, because it did take me to a whole other level of looking within myself. Everything kind of shifted, and I went into this whole other level of my spiritual development or self-development, that I felt that it was time to change so much about myself. And I could see that I was changing, and could see that I was dealing with situations and pulling myself up from bad habits or old habits and creating new habits. But the one thing I hadn't really addressed was my romantic partners. And as much as anyone else, of course, that was a huge part of me being human and wanting to have a soulmate. And that is definitely where I'm going to leave it, because otherwise we'd be here for a very long time and I'd have to collect a whole heap of other photos to put together for that. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.